Next month is National Diabetes Month. Communities across the country will focus on diabetes and its impact on millions of Americans. There are breakthrough medical treatments available now for those with type 2 diabetes, and Dr. Nick Nicholson, bariatric surgeon and founder of the Nicholson Clinic, is here this morning to talk about that. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
There are several types of diabetes. Remind us what those are.
Well, actually, a lot of people use the generic term diabetes when in reality, medically, there's a very big difference. There's type 1 diabetes, which people are born with. There's type 2, which is more of an acquired. There's gestational diabetes, and then a broad category that we refer to colloquially as pre-diabetic as well.
What is the most common type?
Well, type 2 diabetes would be the most common.
And that is the one that is acquired.
Yes, and actually type 2 diabetes is generally a weight-related phenomenon. That is the most common condition that we see. As of 2015, over 30 million Americans were qualified as being diabetic. Last year, over 1.5 million people were diagnosed with diabetes, and 80 to 90% of those people will have what's called type 2 diabetes.
And the complications can be really severe and serious. So why don't we go through some of those complications, because it's a condition that really needs to be addressed.
Well, it's actually probably the worst disease process we have in our time. It's the 7th leading cause of death. It's the most common cause of kidney failure. It leads to increased incidence of heart attacks, strokes, peripheral vascular disease, amputations. It's truly a debilitating disease that's not something as simple as just taking an insulin shot every day and everything's fine.
And as we said, there are several treatments available. How do you manage diabetes with weight loss surgery?
Okay, so what we've come to find is that weight loss surgery is the only known cure for type 2 diabetes, which, as I said earlier, is the most prevalent. And what we see is it's a weight-related phenomenon in the majority of patients. So as you lose weight, your diabetes goes away. And there are other procedures that can actually reverse diabetes, in some cases overnight, by the change in the anatomy in people. So functionally, this results in an increased quality of life for people, increased longevity. They're able to get out and do things that they weren't able to do before due to their medications.
And what percentage of the population did you say is actually affected by diabetes right now?
Right now it's about just under 10%, around 9.4%.
That's significant.
Well, and the prediction is by 2015 that 1 in 3 Americans will be considered diabetic.
So a question people may have if they're watching is, does insurance cover it? Because it's a serious condition. So
yes, and as a matter of fact, it's probably the most important condition that we see from a weight loss surgery benefit standpoint that encourages insurances to cover it, because the financial burden that they have with a diabetic is much less than what they would have for covering their surgery.
Okay, and in addition to the weight loss surgery, you also have aftercare support and pre-surgery support also for people.
Right, well, because it's not as simple as you have surgery on Monday and everything's great on Tuesday.
Right.
So there are, dietitians involved, there are behavioral counseling involved that in order to teach people how to lead a healthy lifestyle. And it really, when we talk about changing your diet, it's not that rigorous. We talk about exercise. It's not climbing Mount Everest. I mean, it's simple as walking 20 minutes in the neighborhood with your dog or your child. It's, you don't have to break a sweat to make this work.
All right. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The Nicholson Clinic for Weight Loss Surgery is in Dallas and in Plano. You can call 972-494-3100 for more information, or simply go to nicholsonclinic.com.
Amped Up, sponsored by the Nicholson Clinic. This is the year you lose the weight and change your life. Call the Nicholson Clinic today.